I'm going to shoot from the hip here with this video, and that is largely what has shaped the American spirit or the American character is areas like this. If you think about when the Europeans first came over here, it required a lot of them to live and survive as they moved west and quote unquote tamed this vast land. And that in part was a large portion of what has affected the American individualism, that American ruggedness. One of the things that I value so much of this land is not just that history, but what it means to me as an individual, and the ability to come out here and be uncomfortable. I mean, completely dirty and stinky for 5 days and have to bathe in a stream to try and get clean. To me, it's just, it feels like home. And one thing that I've always talked about with this type of land is my fear of what will happen to it when my kids get older. If we're not careful, this land won't be available. Much of it won't be available. And if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I've spoke about this many times, you know, just throughout videos here and there. But I've always had a hard time putting a title to this subject, if you will. However, that title is now out there. I did not create it, but it is called Keepitpublic, hashtag Keepitpublic. I won't go into detail about what it is, but I will give you a brief overview. But I would encourage you guys to seek out more information if this is something of interest to you, if you want to, you know, maintain this land and make it available to us as public. And it is just that. It's a grassroots effort to raise awareness and lobby to help keep a lot of our lands open to the public. Many things that I've heard and studied myself is that, for example, federal land, which interestingly enough, generally speaking, for me personally, I think big government, the more they can step out of it and let the state run things, that's what I prefer. However, this is why I'm not so blinded either by a right or left issue, but rather look at the issues themselves. And in this case, I want the federal government to maintain these tracts of land because the history is very proven that when the states take over control of this land, and again, I won't go into detail here, there's a lot of information out there. Generally what happens is over time, that is sold off to private entities, i.e. no longer accessible to the public. This is what the title of what I've always spoke about. I mean, this gives it meat, it gives it drives, it gives it purpose, is that hashtag Keepitpublic. So I just encourage you guys to go out there and find out what that is if you haven't already. Man, if you want to keep this stuff, this is a great way to get involved. In the channels that I normally run with, I don't see a lot about Keepitpublic. I see a lot of it with the hunters. However, it's not just the hunters. It's anybody who wants to use these tracts of land. Even if you're back east, well, you know, most of our land is private. Why should I care? You should care because this is your land. This is your land for the kids. This is the land for us. This is, I think, a very important part of our culture for people to be able to come out here and enjoy this land and have unrestrained activity out here that I can go out and recreate however I feel. Now, unrestrained use of the land does not negate proper stewardship of the land, however. I can come out here, ride a four-wheeler if I want. I can come out here and hunt. I can come out here and fish. I can come out here and backpack. It's not just one group. I can come out here and run the rivers. It's all kinds of different things, and that is just so important for us to maintain. All right, I think that's it.